Oh, shoot. Hey guys, so I'm actually eating at one of my favorite Mexican restaurants, and today I want to talk to you guys about the story of the Zodiac and how it came to be, and why each Zodiac sign actually works in harmonious. There we go, hold on. In harmonious. Here we go. Okay, so it starts with Aries, and we're going to go in order, but God created Aries to basically create self, because Aries tend to be quite selfish and think about themselves more than other zodiac signs, and there's a reason for that. It's the first zodiac sign, so it's kind of like the baby. But Aries is very passionate and very fiery, and it's just a very self-centered energy. So keep in mind that when we get through the other zodiac signs, that Aries is equally as important as the other signs to stay, self-centered, because being self-centered and being selfish is actually a healthy thing sometimes. So then we have Taurus, and Taurus is here to learn about the pleasures of enjoying yourself, to learn how to indulge in food, and to enjoy seeing things and hearing things and smelling things and feeling things. So you take the self from Aries and now you give it pleasure. And then comes Gemini, and Gemini is the twins. So you now have a friend, and Gemini is all about communication and thinking and talking and sharing knowledge. So Aries, starts an idea. Taurus takes the idea and makes it material and solid. And then Gemini takes that idea and spreads it around to the rest of the zodiac through communication and through talking about it and evolving the idea into something bigger. So after Gemini, we have Cancer. Cancer's the mama, okay, the mama of the zodiac. And Cancer comes in and is very empathetic and very intuitive and really just watches out over the rest of the zodiac when it comes to, the beingness of all the other zodiac signs, because really the first 6 zodiac signs are the most immature. They tend to be more immature, whereas the last 6 zodiac signs are the most mature and more evolved signs. So after Cancer, we have Leo, and Leo is the entertainment of the zodiac. So we have the mama Cancer, who's taking care of all the zodiac signs, and then we have Leo, who comes in and is at the état. They're the celebrities and the people that like the limelight and the people that can be the actors. So we now have a community with inspiration, with a solid foundation from Taurus, from loyalty and doing things that make sense, with the youthness of Gemini, who comes in and keeps things fun, but also creates a communication vibe that allows us to keep growing. And then we go into cultivating all that into a family vibe with Cancer. Cancer then takes all the children to the theater, and Leo becomes the star. Now after the star, Leo, we have Virgo. And Virgo kind of looks at everyone, thank you so much, kind of looks at everybody and oh, that looks wonderful, thank you. Oh no, it's fine right there, thank you. So I just got some enchiladas, beans and rice. It's like so good right here. It's called Tejas. It's in Bells, Texas. So Virgo comes in, and Virgo is like the problem solvers. All the problems that the first 6 signs have, Virgo comes in and solves them. They also see problems before they arise. That's why Virgos can be quite critical. And we're kind of like, I say we because I am a Virgo, the title tellers of the zodiac. Like, we are here to make sure everyone's doing their job and staying in line and in their lane. And then after Virgo comes Libra. Because Virgo is also the zodiac sign that keeps the entire system going. They are the one that portions out the food for the rest of the year. So Virgos, that's why Virgos can pay attention to patterns and rhythms and see kind of where future problems are going to come in, because they are essentially in charge of feeding the entire zodiac. So Libra comes in, and they are the people that tells everybody what they're supposed to be doing for the rest of the year. Because Virgo comes in and they say, okay, we have this much grain, we're going to need to cultivate this much more, or we're going to need to do, this much water because we have 4 pregnant women, and that means we're going to have this much more people in the future, so we're going to need to have this many more cows, and they come up with all these systems. They then tell all that information to Libra. And Libra, this is the reason why Libras are so friendly, sometimes fake, sometimes two-faced, because their job is to get everyone in civilization to come to the fire and hear what it is that Virgo learned and now get the new jobs of Virgo. So it's kind of interesting because Libra has to go out into every tiny little subgroup and put on that face and be that person for them to feel safe enough to come back to the fire, to the capital of, everything, and say, okay, Virgo needs Aries to do this for next year and Scorpio to do this for next year. So it's a nice little pair there. Of course, there's things that we don't have that we're going to need, and that is where Scorpio comes in. And they take the things that we don't need and they go to the underworld and they talk to the underworld and they get what we don't need and they transmute it into things that we do need. And they learn all this information about the underworld and the things that we're going to need to incorporate to stay afloat. Because in the myth of astrology or zodiac, Persephone was a mythical god who was kidnapped by the devil, essentially. And so Demeter, who was Persephone's mother, basically told the underworld, if you do not give me back my daughter, I will make this ice freeze to death. You will have no one to worship you, and you will not even be a god, because without humans, you are not a god. You're just a person. So Scorpio takes all that information, goes to the underworld, talks to them, and transmutes all the energy, and then comes back up into the normal world, and that's when it meets up with Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is a fiery sign, very passionate, and it jumps around. It's basically the equivalent of Gemini. It's actually opposites in the zodiac wheel. But Gemini is the information spreader. It rules communication. It's ruled by Mercury. It is is responsible for technology and text messaging, phone calls. But Sagittarius is a more physical type of information change. Sagittarius is literally the messenger. And they take whatever we learn from the underworld and they disperse it to all the subcultures in the world. So then there is Capricorn. And now that we have all this information, it's good, thank you. Now that we have all this information, Capricorn starts building for next year, building barns, to building farms and creating cities and taking all the information and with Taurus's help with a solid foundation, building it upwards. So that's why Capricorns are known as the CEO of the Zodiac. They're known as the hard workers, and they can really just put their nose down and just really work as much as, you know, any animal, honestly. Like, then there's Aquarius, and Aquarius is responsible for inspiration. They think 13 steps ahead of everybody else, and that's why a lot of Aquarius people are in politics and in crime families, because they're very, very smart and they think 3 steps ahead. They're also very good at manipulation because they don't have a lot of emotional intelligence, so they're not really held back by emotion, which could be a positive and or a negative thing. And they're what's responsible for the evolution of all cultures. The reason we keep evolving, the reason fashion keeps moving forward and all that jazz. So after Aquarius, we have, last but not least, Pisces, and they have the heaviest of the Zodiac. And Pisces, they have the heaviest job of the Zodiac because Pisces is here to keep everyone's emotions in check. They're here to report to God or whoever you believe in, whoever's the higher being, and let that person know, that energy know that we're all doing okay. So not only do they have a serious connection with the higher being, but they have connections with all the other human beings. So sometimes Pisces can get swept up in escapism and drugs and alcohol because they feel a lot of our emotion and their own. Can I have more salsa, Mama?
What do you want? Hot sauce.
More salsa. It's the only reason I come here. So that's Pisces' job, and if there's a sign that's out of check, Pisces can literally stand next to that sign, feel that energy, and help them work through it in a way that's not so scary or, you know, as aggressive. So that's my story of the zodiac signs and how we make a perfect combination. Thank you. That's why we work really well together. That's why some signs don't work with other signs. And that's why some signs are super compatible with other signs. But really, astrology does not mean that you are stuck in a lane or stuck in a box. There's not anything that you can or cannot be based on your astrology sign. And we all have free will. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we will talk soon.